Beloved chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment. Heaven has paused everything around you just to speak your name. This is not random. This is not a coincidence. This is divine orchestration. Heaven has interrupted your Tuesday because this day carries your miracle. Something in the unseen realm has shifted. What was once delayed is now being delivered. You have felt invisible for too long. You have prayed in silence, wondering if God was still listening. But today, heaven responds. You were not overlooked. You were hidden until the appointed time, and that time is now. Every disappointment, every lonely night, every rejection was divine training for this moment of release. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment. Hear this, chosen one. The warfare was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal what cannot be broken in you. You have walked through seasons where your strength ran thin, but your faith never fully died. And because you did not quit, heaven is rewarding your endurance. The spiritual locks over your destiny are breaking, one by one. You are stepping into a chapter where divine favor replaces former frustration. This is not a normal Tuesday. Heaven has stamped this day with your name. The atmosphere around you is shifting because your spirit is being realigned with divine timing. God has written something new into your story, and it begins with this word, release. Can you feel it? The stirring within your chest, that quiet confirmation that this message was meant for you. That is heaven calling you higher. You are being summoned into a season where closed doors will open without struggle. The blessings that once felt out of reach are now being magnetically drawn toward you. Every promise that felt delayed is now accelerating toward manifestation. The pain you carried was never wasted. The tears you shed became prophetic seeds. The isolation you endured refined your hearing, so you could recognize God's whisper in the noise. He was not absent. He was building strength in silence. Now, heaven breaks that silence with a single decree. It is time. You don't need to fight for attention or validation. You've already been seen by heaven. The angels who walked with you through the shadows are now carrying your reward. The same God who watched you sow in brokenness is now commanding you to reap in joy. And this time, the harvest will be undeniable. Harvest. The voice of the Almighty still speaks as it did through the ancient scrolls. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So stand firm, chosen one. Fear will no longer dictate your days. Anxiety will no longer silence your voice. You are entering a chapter where courage becomes your language and faith your foundation. What once intimidated you will now flee at your confidence. You are not powerless, you are divinely equipped. Lift your head, straighten your shoulders, and walk like one marked by heaven. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives within you. You are heaven's representative on earth, carrying light into dark places, carrying hope where despair once ruled. And as this word settles into your spirit, let your action be your agreement. Like, share, and comment below if this message resonated deep within you. Declare your faith boldly before heaven and earth. And if you haven't yet, subscribe now. Stay connected to the stream of revelation that keeps your spirit aligned. Type 111 in the comments to seal your agreement with heaven's decree. This Tuesday is not ordinary, it is sacred. The locks have opened, the flow has begun. Heaven has spoken, your blessing is released. Chosen one, listen, there has always been something different about you. Even before you could understand why you didn't fit in, heaven already had its hand on your life. You were never meant to blend with the crowd, because your spirit carried a vibration that the world could not comprehend. You've walked through rooms where others laughed while your heart felt the tremors of something unseen. You've smiled through storms because your soul knew that purpose was being born inside the pain. You have carried questions that others were too afraid to ask. Why do I feel things so deeply? Why does my path always seem harder? You thought those questions were weakness, but they were evidence of divine awareness. The sensitivity that made you weep was the same sensitivity that made you powerful. God placed within you a heart that could feel the weight of heaven before it manifested on earth. You are not fragile, you are finely tuned. Every rejection, every misunderstanding, every door that slammed shut was not meant to humiliate you. It was heaven's way of setting you apart. You were not denied, you were preserved. You were not overlooked, you were protected. When they mocked you, heaven smiled. Because only the chosen endure such misreading before revelation. You had to walk through seasons where nobody understood your fire so that you would learn to depend only on the one who ignited it. Do you remember the nights you lay awake, wondering why peace felt distant? You thought you were being punished, but in truth, you were being prepared. The loneliness was not a curse, it was the cocoon of transformation. Heaven had to isolate you from noise so you could learn to hear in the silence. While others ran ahead chasing applause, you were held back so your roots could deepen. God didn't want you to grow fast. He wanted you to grow strong. Sometimes the evidence of being chosen looks like loss. Sometimes the proof of destiny is the very thing that breaks your heart. But through it all, heaven has been training you for recognition, training you to discern the voice of truth among the chorus of imitation. You are being refined into a vessel that can carry glory without breaking under its weight. Look back for a moment, see how far you've come. The battles that almost took you out became the very reason your faith became unshakable. Every no was pushing you toward a better yes. Every delay was bending time around divine precision. What others call misfortune, heaven calls momentum. You were being positioned, even when you thought you were being punished. You see, ordinary souls cannot carry extraordinary assignments. That's why you couldn't stay where you were. That's why certain friendships ended. Certain places felt heavy. Certain dreams dissolved. You were outgrowing old versions of yourself that could no longer contain the calling on your life. The Spirit was stretching you because greater territory required greater capacity. You may have felt abandoned, but you were never alone, even in your lowest moments. Angels stood guard. There were days you didn't know how you made it through, but heaven was carrying you through the fire, unseen. You were being tempered like gold every trial, every tear. Every test was removing impurities you didn't even know you had. The pain was never punishment. It was purification. There's a reason why your spirit resonates with words like these. You're hearing this because your heart recognizes its source. Heaven is calling your identity forth, not the version shaped by fear or failure, but the one forged in divine fire. You are being reminded that you were created for impact, for illumination, for leadership in realms of both spirit and influence. You are the interruption in your bloodline's pattern. You are the breaker of cycles, the restorer of peace, the one sent to rewrite what others surrendered to. Heaven trusted you with that assignment because heaven trusted your endurance. Every moment you wanted to give up but didn't became testimony ink written into the story of redemption through your life. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Let that truth settle into your soul. Before any mistake, before any heartbreak, before any detour, you were already chosen. You are not trying to become chosen, you are chosen. Nothing you've lost has disqualified you. It only revealed what cannot be taken from you. The light within you has survived every attempt to dim it because it was lit by heaven itself. So lift your head, child of purpose. You do not walk as one uncertain of their worth. You walk as one stamped by divine intention. Your story is unfolding exactly as heaven planned. The pain was necessary, the rejection was strategic, and the waiting was holy. You were never ordinary, you were always extraordinary, hidden in plain sight until the appointed hour. And that hour, chosen one, is now. Chosen one, you have walked through long corridors of waiting, wondering if heaven had forgotten the promises whispered to you long ago. You prayed, believed, and yet watched doors remain closed. You fasted, served, gave, and still the miracle seemed delayed. But hear this clearly, what felt like denial was divine timing in disguise. Heaven never said no. Heaven said not yet. You see, delay is one of the greatest tools in God's training ground. It sharpens discernment, purifies motives, and builds endurance. While your heart cried, when? Lord Heaven replied, when you're ready. The waiting has not been wasted. It has been the womb of preparation. Every silent season was heaven crafting unseen strength within you. If you had received the blessing too soon, it would have crushed you. The weight of destiny requires shoulders strengthened by patience. God wasn't withholding the promise. He was fortifying the vessel that would carry it. Like a seed underground, your potential was buried, not buried to die, but buried to grow. You couldn't see progress because the roots were forming beneath the surface. There were moments you felt abandoned, moments when your prayers returned in echoes. Yet, even in that silence, heaven was speaking. The delays were never empty, they were filled with divine purpose. You were being aligned with the right people, the right places, the right timing. And now, chosen one, that alignment is complete. The scroll of delay has been opened, and the word release has been written in heaven's ink. What once took months will now happen in moments. What once felt impossible will suddenly become inevitable. But understand this, the same delay that built your faith will now guard your blessing. Because you learned patience, you can now carry power without pride. The strength forged in waiting will keep you steady when the floodgates of favor open. The trials were not a contradiction to the promise, they were confirmation of it. You were not losing ground. You were being rooted deeper into divine soil. The winds that tried to uproot you only proved that your foundation was unshakable. Every no from man was clearing the path for a yes from God. Remember, heaven operates in layers of precision. What seems like a sudden miracle is often years of divine orchestration unfolding in a single moment. You are standing in that moment right now. The pieces are coming together. The timing is aligning. What was once a riddle is becoming revelation. Do not mistake silence for absence. The heavens have been working on your behalf while you were still questioning if God had heard you. Every tear was collected, every prayer recorded, every sigh noted. You were never ignored. You were being scheduled, and now the time has come for manifestation, as was revealed through the prophet Habakkuk. Chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. Hold that in your heart, it will surely come. The delay did not kill the vision, it matured it. The dream is still alive, more refined, more powerful, more aligned with heaven's design. You are not late. You are perfectly on time for your divine appointment. Chosen one. As you read these words, heaven watches your response. Faith is not just believing, it's agreeing. When you align your words with heaven's decree, something begins to shift in the unseen. That's why I want you to declare it in the comments below. It's my time. Yes. Those 3 words carry prophetic weight. They're not just a statement, they're an activation. When you type them, you are breaking partnership with delay and coming into agreement with divine timing. You are declaring to every force of darkness that your waiting season has fulfilled its purpose, and the doors must open. Say it boldly. Whisper it if you must. But let heaven and earth hear your declaration, it's my time. Let those words resonate in your spirit until they ignite courage within you. For too long, you've carried hope quietly. Now is the moment to release it audibly, publicly, fearlessly. You have endured the hidden season, now prepare for the revealing season. What was once unseen will be undeniable. What was once promised will be performed. The divine hand that once wrote wait has now stamped go. Chosen one. This is not another pause, this is the breaking of delay. You've waited well, you've believed long, and now heaven rewards your endurance. The hidden scrolls are open, and your name is written across them in light. Your not yet has become now. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine journey when heaven bends time itself. What took others decades begins to happen for you in days. It is not luck. It is divine acceleration, the favor of God overtaking the natural pace of men. You are entering that moment now. The hour when everything long delayed suddenly moves forward with supernatural speed. You have felt the tension of time for years, haven't you? You've watched others run ahead while you felt restrained, wondering if God had forgotten your rhythm. You saw doors open for people who seemed less faithful, less ready, less devoted. You stood there silently asking, Lord, when will it be my turn? What you didn't see was that while they were moving quickly, you were being built deeply. You were being prepared to carry acceleration without losing direction. Divine speed without divine structure leads to destruction. That is why heaven held you still while others rushed. God was forming the framework that could sustain what is about to come. If He had moved you earlier, the blessing would have been too heavy for your foundation. But now, after fire, waiting, and refinement, the structure within you is strong enough to hold glory without collapse. The Spirit of God is whispering into your timeline, the hour of acceleration has come. Suddenly, things that once resisted you will cooperate. People who ignored you will remember your name. Opportunities will align themselves without your manipulation. What used to require endless effort will unfold through divine ease. You are about to witness what it means when heaven intervenes in time. Do not be surprised when answers arrive faster than you can speak the prayers. The momentum will feel unnatural because it is supernatural. What others achieve through striving, you will receive through obedience. Where they depend on connections, you will depend on covenant. The winds of heaven are shifting in your favor, carrying you into places you once thought were out of reach. You have walked long enough in the wilderness of delay. Every step has been recorded, every tear noted, every sacrifice remembered. Now, acceleration begins not to erase your journey, but to honor it. You did not walk in vain, you walked in training. You did not wait for nothing, you waited for fullness. And now, the fullness of time has arrived. Imagine it, doors opening in rapid sequence, breakthroughs arriving like waves, yet even as the pace quickens, peace remains. Because acceleration without anxiety is the mark of divine involvement. Heaven is not pushing you into chaos, heaven is pulling you into purpose. There will be no confusion in this acceleration, only clarity. You will know which opportunities are divine and which are distractions. For the Spirit will highlight them before your eyes. You will find that even your language changes. No longer will you say, "I am waiting." You will say, "I am moving." The slow rhythm of past years is giving way to the swift tempo of divine advancement. You will see in 1 week what you prayed for over months. You will meet in 1 day the connection that will unlock your next season. And yet, it will not feel overwhelming, it will feel ordained. This acceleration does not come because you are lucky. It comes because you are ready. Heaven releases speed when obedience is complete. Every test you passed, every time you chose surrender over bitterness, you unlocked another measure of grace. And now that grace is turning into motion, as was declared through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 22, "The least of you will become 1,000, the smallest a mighty nation. I am the Lord. In its time I will do this swiftly." Let those words sink into your soul. I will do this swiftly. The same God who seemed to delay has now commanded acceleration. What once felt motionless will now move with divine urgency. But remember, this is not speed for vanity. This is speed for victory. Every quickened step is aligned with heaven's strategy. Every sudden opportunity is a piece of divine design. So, chosen one, breathe deeply. The wind you feel now is the breath of God propelling you forward. The time you thought you lost is being restored with interest. Every missed opportunity is returning multiplied. Heaven has shifted gears, and you are being carried by that momentum. The season of crawling has ended. You will not chase what is meant for you, it will run to find you. And when it does, you will understand why the waiting was so long and the release so sudden. Time itself must now obey the voice of the one who called you chosen. Chosen one. Heaven has not only remembered you, it has recorded you. Your name, your prayers, your hidden acts of faith are inscribed in the archives of eternity. There are records in heaven that bear your signature, the nights you stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier, the times you gave when you had little, the moments you forgave when no one apologized. All of it is written in light. Nothing you've done for love or faith has vanished into silence. You may have thought your obedience went unnoticed, but heaven has been watching like a loving scribe, marking every moment of endurance. The angels assigned to your life have carried your tears as offerings, storing them in vessels of remembrance. Every prayer, every sacrifice, every sigh has become evidence before the throne. Now those records speak on your behalf. There comes a time when endurance turns into evidence, when the heavens court reviews your faithfulness and declares, "It is time to reward." That time is now. The balance of heaven is tipping in your favor. Every hour you stood firm in unseen battles has become currency in the realm of reward. You have been found faithful, and heaven is preparing divine compensation. Think of a field after a long drought. For seasons it looks barren, lifeless, forgotten. Yet deep beneath the soil, roots stretch and strengthen, waiting for rain. Then one morning, clouds gather, and the first drop touches the earth. Within days, what seemed dead bursts with color and life. That is what is happening in your spirit right now. The dry ground of your waiting is being watered by heaven's memory of your faithfulness. You have sown more than you realize, sown patience, love, forgiveness, faith, generosity. Now the harvest angels are moving to ensure your reaping comes full circle. Your kindness was never wasted. Your giving was never unseen. Your trust was never in vain. The voice of the Lord declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verse 20, "Rejoice that your names are written in heaven." Let that truth touch the deepest part of you, written in heaven, not penciled in. not temporary. Written, permanent, eternal. Your identity as a chosen one is not dependent on circumstance. It is inscribed in glory. Heaven's ledger is not like man's record. People forget, people overlook, people dismiss. But heaven documents with precision. Every unnoticed act of obedience becomes a shining entry. Every silent act of faith is counted as treasure. When you lifted others while you were hurting, heaven marked it. When you prayed for those who betrayed you, heaven wrote it in gold. You are a living testament that generosity and faith never return empty. Even the smallest seed, when sown from a sincere heart, multiplies beyond imagination. The blessings now unfolding in your life are not random, they are harvests of past faithfulness. The rewards being prepared are not sudden windfalls, they are the natural bloom of seeds heaven has been nurturing in secret. And now, as heaven pours out favor, you have the sacred opportunity to participate in that same flow to keep the divine circulation of blessing alive. Just as rivers are meant to flow, not stagnate, so too are blessings meant to move through willing hearts. If a river stops flowing, it turns into a swamp. If a heart stops giving, it stops growing. So if this message has touched your spirit, if you have felt heaven's whisper stir something inside you, consider this your moment to give back to water the well that has refreshed your soul. When you like, share, subscribe, or even give a donation, you are not just supporting words, you're keeping the river of divine messages flowing to others who need this same reminder of hope. You become a vessel through which light continues to travel. Your engagement is not a transaction. It's participation in a mission. Every click, every share, every seed of generosity becomes another beam of light sent out into the digital wilderness, reaching someone standing where you once stood, confused, weary, or broken. You are helping heaven reach hearts through human hands. And remember, chosen one, generosity is never one-sided. When you pour out, heaven pours back in greater measure. When you sow into light, you harvest illumination. When you invest into hope, hope multiplies around you. So if your heart is stirred, do it from love, not obligation. Like because you believe. Share because you care. Subscribe because you want to stay connected to the flow of revelation. And if you feel led to donate, let it be a whisper of gratitude to heaven, saying, thank you for remembering me. Because heaven surely has chosen one. Before every trumpet of breakthrough, there is always a test of obedience. It never comes when you feel ready. It comes when your faith has been stretched thin. The test is not to destroy you, but to prove what heaven already knows, that even when it hurts, you will still say yes. Think of all the moments you felt pressure pressing in from every side, the temptation to give up, to lash out, to take matters into your own hands. Yet something inside of you refused. You may have stumbled, but you did not surrender your heart to bitterness. You may have cried, but you did not curse heaven. That resistance, those unseen victories, are the reason heaven can now trust you with more. Every chosen one must face this refining fire. The test is rarely about others, it is about you. It is about proving to your own soul that your faith is not conditional. The storm reveals what comfort conceals. When everything is stripped away, what remains is what's real, and what remains in you. Chosen one is devotion pure, resilient, proven. You have walked through your own wilderness, haven't you? There were days when your prayers seemed to vanish into the void. You asked, Lord, where are you? But the silence was heaven's classroom. You were being trained to hear God's whisper when his voice felt far. The silence was never abandonment, it was instruction. Every trial that came against you carried a hidden purpose to refine your perception, to teach you obedience beyond convenience. The test before your miracle always feels like the breaking point, but it's actually the birthing point. The breaking of pride births power, the breaking of fear births faith, the breaking of your own will births divine will. There is a moment when heaven steps back, allowing the weight of choice to rest fully on you. That's the crossroads where destinies are forged. The enemy whispers compromise, and heaven watches for conviction. When you choose obedience in that place, you unlock what delay once held back. Because obedience is the master key to the realm of miracles. It's easy to worship when you win, but heaven listens for your song in loss. It's simple to trust when doors open, but heaven watches how you respond when they close. The silence of God is not rejection, it is reverence. It's the space where you grow into spiritual maturity. When the Israelites stood at the Red Sea, they faced an impossible test to move forward into waves or backward into captivity. Yet God's command was clear. Go forward. That same voice echoes to you now. Do not look back. Do not retreat. The waters that look impassable will part once your foot touches them. But heaven waits for movement before performing miracles. You've already proven your endurance. Now heaven is testing your obedience in action. This is your threshold moment. Once you pass this test, you will not return to smallness again. The level of warfare you faced was not punishment, it was promotion in disguise. The pressure you've endured was heaven expanding your capacity. The apostle wrote in the letter of James, chapter 1 on verse 3, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let those words rest within you. The testing was not meant to break you, but to build you. The faith that survives testing becomes unstoppable. And that's what you are becoming, unstoppable. Now, heaven is calling for an act of prophetic agreement. You've walked through the test and you've stood in silence. This is your moment to respond in faith. Declare your obedience not with fear, but with boldness. In the comments below, type 444. This number is not random, it is symbolic. It represents divine order, the stability of heaven's foundation being established in your life. When you type it, you are saying, Lord, I choose obedience even when I don't understand. You are aligning your life with divine structure, where confusion cannot reign and chaos cannot rule. Let that declaration be your seal. Let it echo through heaven as a signature of surrender. You are no longer walking by sight, you are walking by revelation. Every step you take in obedience opens unseen gates. Every act of faith creates momentum in realms you cannot see. Chosen one. This test has revealed your true strength. You have passed through fire and come out purified. Heaven now calls you trustworthy. You are no longer being tested, you are being commissioned. The same hand that allowed the test is now releasing the reward. Walk forward. Keep your heart steady. The obedience you practice today is the foundation for the glory you will carry tomorrow. Chosen one, this is the season where the tables are turning. The balance of heaven is shifting, and the same hands that once pushed you down will now be forced to witness your rising. You have been through years of misunderstanding, people doubting your intentions, twisting your motives, mocking your quiet faith. They thought the silence of God meant your story had ended, but heaven was simply preparing a stage. You must understand this vindication is not about revenge, it is about revelation. God is not elevating you to embarrass your enemies, but to demonstrate His faithfulness. Your victory will not be loud with arrogance, it will be steady with grace. The very ones who once said, "Where is your God?" will soon say, "Surely the hand of the Lord is upon you." There were moments when you wanted to defend yourself, to explain, to prove your worth. But the Spirit restrained you because your vindication would not come from words, it would come from results. Heaven told you to stay quiet while it prepared the proof. You didn't realize it then, but every silent act of trust was a prophetic statement that said, God will speak for me. And now, that moment has arrived. When God prepares a table before you, it's not just about food, it's about proof. It is about showing that no attack, no betrayal, no slander could stop the purpose written over your life. You will sit at that table with peace, not pride. You will feast, not flaunt. Because those who are truly chosen do not rise to boast, they rise to bless. Your enemies are not your concern anymore. The higher you go, the smaller they become. Like shadows at sunrise, their power fades as your light expands. Do not waste another breath seeking validation from those who were never meant to understand your calling. The same voices that tried to curse you will one day ask for your prayers. That is the mercy of heaven turning opposition into opportunity. Think about Joseph. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, imprisoned, forgotten. Yet in one moment, God lifted him from a prison to a palace. The very ones who betrayed him had to come and bow before him for provision. But Joseph didn't retaliate. He said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." His vindication was not vengeance, it was destiny fulfilled. The same will be said of you. Heaven has a pattern, it turns pain into position. Every humiliation becomes a ladder. Every loss becomes leverage. The stone the builders rejected becomes the cornerstone. That's what's happening to you now. You are not just being restored, you are being revealed. Those who only saw your struggle will now witness your strength. Remember the long nights of prayer, the tears you wiped away in silence, the moments you questioned if it was all worth it. Those prayers have matured now. They've turned into divine currency, and heaven is spending them on your behalf. The favor being released is not a random reward, it's justice unfolding. God is repaying every injustice with increase. Do not fear this exposure. It will not bring chaos but clarity. You are not being placed before people to impress them, you are being positioned to influence them. Your story will become a testimony that humbles even your critics. What they meant for harm will become the very evidence that God was with you all along. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. This is not a poetic metaphor, it is a divine reality unfolding before your eyes. You are being seated in the presence of the same atmosphere that once rejected you. The oil of heaven is being poured over your life, marking you publicly as chosen. There is a sacred peace that comes with vindication, the kind that doesn't shout but glows. The kind that doesn't need to prove but simply is. You will walk into rooms that once closed their doors on you, and those same rooms will now open in reverence. You will speak, and the sound of grace in your voice will silence every rumor. Chosen one, keep your heart pure. Do not let vindication breed pride. You are not rising to show off, you are rising to show God off. Let His goodness be your statement, His favor your defense, His peace your posture. You will know you've truly overcome when you can bless those who once wished you broken. The tables are turning. Yes, but your seat at that table will be a seat of peace, humility, and divine completion. Your story is not ending with pain, it's ending with proof. Chosen one, what you once lost was never the end, it was the beginning of multiplication. Heaven has a pattern, it breaks before it blesses. It subtracts before it multiplies. You thought things were falling apart, but they were actually falling into divine order. Every loss was a seed, every tear a watering, every prayer a root stretching deeper into unseen soil. The time of multiplication has come. Think of how nature works. When a seed is planted, it must first die in darkness before it can live in light. It breaks open underground, unseen by anyone. No one applauds its struggle. No one celebrates its decay. Yet within that hidden breaking, new life begins. That's been your process, Heaven planted you deep in obscurity, allowing the pressure of pain to crack open the shell of your potential. You were not buried to perish, you were buried to bloom. You have survived seasons that should have suffocated your hope. You've been stripped of things that once defined you: relationships, opportunities, possessions. Yet here you are, still breathing, still believing. You may not see it yet, but what was taken was never lost. It was transformed. Heaven does not take away without the intent to return multiplied. You see, loss refines your relationship with value. When everything familiar falls away, you begin to discern what truly matters. You stop chasing shadows and start seeking substance. You stop clinging to what fades and start embracing what endures. Every stripping was a sacred surgery, cutting away excess so that true fruit could grow. The world sees loss as decrease, but heaven calls it investment. You were sowing even when you didn't realize it. Every heartbreak was a seed of compassion. Every disappointment became a seed of wisdom. You were sowing in your wilderness, and heaven was watching. The field of your faith is now ready for harvest. The Spirit spoke through the psalmist in the sacred book of Psalms, chapter 126, verse 5. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Let those words echo through your heart. The tears you cried were not wasted. They were the water of your harvest. Every moment you stayed faithful while feeling forgotten became fertilizer for your future. You didn't lose ground, you enriched it. You didn't lose time, you invested it. The God who wastes nothing has been quietly multiplying everything you surrendered. Soon you will look around and realize that what once felt like emptiness has become abundance. Relationships that vanished will be replaced with divine connections that carry purpose. Finances that once dried up will flow again, this time without the anxiety of scarcity. Dreams that seemed dead will suddenly breathe again, stronger than before. Heaven is in motion, multiplying everything that was placed on the altar of your surrender. But remember, this multiplication is not just about receiving more. It's about becoming more. Heaven is not trying to make you wealthy, it's trying to make you whole. The abundance coming your way is not merely material, it's emotional, spiritual, relational. It's the kind of overflow that cannot be contained in things because it was never meant to be owned. It was meant to be shared. You will notice that even your speech begins to change. Gratitude will replace complaint. Wisdom will replace worry. Contentment will replace craving. You will no longer ask, "Why did I lose that?" but instead whisper, "Now I understand why." The pain that once made no sense will become your greatest teacher. The emptiness you felt will become empathy for others who are walking their own wilderness. In the realm of the Spirit, multiplication follows surrender. When you let go, heaven can release what your clenched hands could never hold. That's why God asked you to trust Him through loss, not because He wanted to hurt you, but because He wanted to free you from the illusion of control. Now, as the winds of restoration blow, do not cling to what is returning, cling to the one who returns it. The harvest is not your identity, it is your inheritance. You are not defined by what you receive, but by how you reflect the one who gave it. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The barren ground of your past is shimmering with new life. Where there were ashes, there will now be beauty. Where there was scarcity, there will now be surplus. What was once taken will now be multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And when you stand in that overflow, remember, this is not luck. This is legacy. Every tear, every test, every trial was heaven's investment in your destiny. You are walking into the season where loss becomes laughter and sorrow turns into song. You have sown faithfully in the dark. Now, chosen one, prepare to reap in the light. Chosen one. There comes a time when the warrior within you must awaken. You were not chosen merely to survive the storm, you were anointed to command it. The season of quiet endurance is giving way to the season of spiritual authority. You have been trained through hardship, refined through rejection, and purified through fire. Now heaven calls you not only healed but armed. Every scar on your soul is evidence of a battle survived, a testimony of divine protection. The enemy has tried repeatedly to silence you, but your very survival is rebellion against darkness. You have faced losses that would have broken others. Yet here you stand, unbowed. That is not weakness, that is proof of the light you carry. You are a living weapon in the hands of heaven. There are moments when you still feel unworthy of such calling, moments when the weight of your past whispers disqualification. But the truth is, this God does not choose the flawless. He chooses the fearless. The fire you walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal the strength hidden within you. And now that strength is about to be unveiled. You have been walking quietly through enemy territory, and you did not even realize it. Every time you spoke truth when lies surrounded you, you pushed back darkness. Every act of kindness became a strike of light against cruelty. Every prayer whispered in exhaustion became an arrow of warfare. You have been fighting spiritual battles unseen by others, but fully recognized by heaven. There is power stirring within you now, a boldness that feels new yet strangely familiar. It is the same fire that burned in the prophets, the same authority that flowed through apostles, the same courage that faced giants. Heaven is reclaiming your voice. You will no longer speak as one uncertain, you will speak as one commissioned. Do not fear the rising conflict around you. The greater the opposition, the greater the anointing that answers it. Darkness would not attack what does not threaten it. The intensity of your recent struggles is not proof of weakness, it's confirmation of impact. The forces of chaos can sense your awakening and tremble at what's coming next. Remember this, you do not fight alone. You are surrounded by a heavenly host, unseen yet active. Every time you pray, angels move. Every time you worship, the atmosphere shifts. You are never unarmed. Your very presence carries the vibration of victory. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord." That is not poetic comfort, it is a legal decree in the courts of heaven. Every attack that rises against you must fail by divine law. Every scheme plotted in darkness collapses under that promise. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. Still, there is a requirement: you must step fully into your identity. The timid version of you cannot carry the mantle assigned to you. You must let the warrior arise. There is no more shrinking, no more apologizing for your strength, no more hiding your light to make others comfortable. You are called to confront darkness, not to coexist with it. It's time to declare who you are, not who the world said you were, not who fear tried to convince you to be, but who heaven has already named you. When you speak it, heaven responds. So right now, as a prophetic act of faith, I want you to type below, "I stand firm." It's only 3 words, but they carry power. They are not just a comment, they are a declaration in the unseen realm. When you type them, you are drawing a line in the spirit, announcing to both heaven and hell that retreat is no longer an option. You are saying, I will not bow to fear. I will not fold under pressure. I will not forget who I am. These words seal your alignment with strength. They remind the enemy that your ground is not up for negotiation. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. How could you ever lose? Chosen one, you are not a victim of warfare. You are the answer to it. You carry authority that shifts atmospheres, words that dismantle lies, and prayers that pierce darkness. The enemy's worst mistake was letting you live long enough to remember who you are. So rise, stand tall, wipe your tears, adjust your crown, and fix your eyes forward. The war is already won, and you have been chosen to walk in the victory of it. The time of hiding is over. The trumpet has sounded. Step into your power. Warrior of light, your voice is your weapon, and heaven fights with you. Chosen one, heaven's gate stands open before you. The locks have fallen, the chains have dropped, and what once resisted you now welcomes you. You are stepping into a divine exchange where prayer becomes provision, faith becomes fulfillment, and patience becomes power. This is not the same atmosphere you came from. The air here is charged with divine decree. Every word you speak in faith now carries the ability to unlock doors that have been shut for years. There are moments in life when the heavens feel like brass, when prayers bounce back and hope feels thin. But then comes the divine moment when obedience meets timing and heaven releases what it had been holding. You are in that moment now. The key was never lost. It was waiting for your hand to mature enough to hold it. Heaven never said no, it said, not yet. And now, the yet has arrived. Picture it this way, a locked gate at the edge of a vast garden. Behind it, fruit heavy with promise hangs low, waiting to be gathered. For years, you've stood outside, watching through the bars, wondering if the gate would ever open. But now the key is in your hand. Every prayer, every act of surrender, every moment of endurance has shaped that key. You turn it, and the gate opens not with force, but with welcome. You are no longer an outsider, you are an heir returning home. You see, heaven's gate does not open to the loudest, it opens to the most faithful. God honors the heart that keeps believing when logic says stop. The quiet persistence of your spirit has moved heaven. Your name has been called in the courts above, and a verdict of favor has been issued. The door before you is not a door of chance. It is a door of inheritance. It was proclaimed in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 19. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Do you understand what that means? You are not just a passerby in the story of creation, you are a key holder. You carry authority to unlock freedom not only for yourself but for others. When you pray, heaven listens. When you declare truth, the atmosphere shifts. When you move in love, the strongholds collapse. But here's a divine mystery: gates open wider when gratitude flows freely. That's why I want to speak to your heart, not as a preacher to a listener, but as one messenger to another. If these words have touched something sacred within you, if you felt heaven's whisper stir in your spirit, then you've already stepped into partnership with this divine movement. You are part of this unfolding light. When you like, share, subscribe, or even give a small donation, you are not just supporting content, you are strengthening the bridge through which these messages travel. Imagine it as a lighthouse. One beam cannot guide every ship alone. But when more lights join, the shore becomes brighter, safer, clearer. Your engagement adds oil to that flame, ensuring that someone else lost at sea finds their way home. Every click, every share, every gift, no matter how small, becomes a drop of water in the river of divine impact. You are helping keep this river flowing, reaching hearts that may never walk into a church but will encounter God through a whisper on their screen. This is how the kingdom expands, not by grand buildings, but by burning hearts connected through love. If your spirit feels stirred, do what feels right. Like to affirm agreement, share to spread light. Subscribe to stay aligned with heaven's rhythm. And if you feel led to give, let it not be out of pressure, but out of partnership. Think of it as sowing light into dark places. Every seed of generosity becomes another door unlocked, another message carried further, another soul reminded that heaven still speaks. Chosen one, your part in this story matters. You're not a spectator, you are a builder. The very same gates heaven is opening for you now are gates you are helping others walk through. When you bless, you become a bridge. When you give, you echo heaven's heartbeat. So stand before that open gate with gratitude. The sound you hear is the creak of destiny swinging wide. Step through it boldly, knowing this, the same God who opened it will keep it open as long as your heart stays surrendered. And as you cross that threshold, remember you are not walking alone. Every act of faith, every gesture of support, every flame of belief joins you. Together, we become the sound of heaven touching earth. The gate is open. Walk through it with faith and let the light that guided you now guide others. Chosen one, sometimes heaven's loudest movement begins in silence. When everything grows still and familiar voices fade, it can feel as though God has disappeared. You pray and hear nothing. You seek and find no sign. And in that void, you begin to question whether the promise still stands. But heaven's silence is never abandonment, it is strategy. When God is quiet, He is crafting something precise, something that cannot yet be revealed. The silence was your teacher. It stripped away the noise of expectation and taught you to listen beyond sound. When you could no longer trace God's hand, you learned to trust His heart. That kind of trust, pure, raw, unwavering, is what transforms belief into revelation. You have not been forsaken. You have been refined into one who can stand in stillness without losing faith. You remember those long nights when you cried without words, when your prayers were simply sighs between exhaustion and hope. Those moments were not wasted. They became language in the spirit that only heaven understood. You thought no one saw you kneeling there in the dark, but heaven was recording every tear as testimony. Angels moved quietly, not to remove the silence, but to fortify you within it. It is easy to see God in miracles, but the mature learn to see Him in waiting. Silence is where faith sheds its dependence on feeling. It's where belief stops being emotion and becomes revelation. When you could not feel Him, He was forming a depth within you that would not crumble under pressure. He was teaching you to hear the subtle shift of spiritual winds, to recognize His movement in the smallest whispers. Consider a blacksmith at his forge. Between each strike of the hammer there is silence, but it is in that silence that the metal cools and strengthens. The noise shapes, but the silence solidifies. Likewise, heaven's pauses are never empty, they are moments of divine cooling where strength settles into your spirit. Without them, the shape of your purpose would not hold. You see, the silence of God is not punishment, it is proof of intimacy. Only those trusted deeply are trained in quiet places. God does not waste His silence on the unfaithful, He gives it to those He intends to crown with discernment. In silence, you learn not to chase after signs but to become one. In stillness, you discover that the voice of heaven does not always thunder, sometimes it breathes. We are reminded through the words of the psalmist in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. That command, be still, is not an invitation to inaction. It is a call to surrender. Stillness is not weakness. It is strength under authority. When the world rushes and demands answers, you remain calm because you trust the author. While others panic at silence, you recognize it as the sound of strategy unfolding. In that stillness, heaven was building your inner fortress. You were learning to move without noise, to carry peace like a weapon, to discern without needing confirmation. You were being prepared for influence that does not depend on applause. God was developing in you a silent confidence that unnerves darkness. That's why the enemy feared your quiet seasons, because he knew what kind of authority grows in silence. You are not the same person who entered that quiet valley. You've emerged different, stronger, softer, wiser. Your discernment is sharper, your patience deeper, your awareness clearer. You no longer seek external validation because you've encountered internal revelation. You have learned that stillness is not the absence of movement, but the presence of control. The kind of control that comes from trust. So do not despise silence. It was the cradle of your power. In the quiet, you met the God who whispers purpose between your breaths. You learned that he is not found only in thunder or fire, but in the gentle breeze that brushes your soul. You discovered that when everything else fades, his presence remains steady, unchanging, eternal. Now, as you move forward, remember this truth: those who learn to stand in silence will never fall in noise. The world will soon hear what heaven has been preparing in the quiet corners of your heart. The stillness that once felt heavy will now become your strength. The same silence that once made you weep will now make you wise. Chosen one, you survived the silence because you were meant to speak with clarity. The next time heaven grows quiet, you won't fear it. You'll recognize it. You'll smile and say, I know this language. For silence was never the absence of God, it was the echo of his nearness, waiting for your spirit to catch up. Chosen one, look around you. The air feels different, doesn't it? The heaviness that once pressed upon your heart has begun to lift. You can sense it deep in your spirit, like the sky moments before rain. This is not your imagination. Heaven is shifting the atmosphere because the prophetic rainfall is about to begin. The drought is over. The clouds are full, heavy with blessings that have been gathering for years, waiting for divine permission to pour. You have prayed for this. You have waited for this. Every dry season, every unfulfilled promise, every unanswered prayer has led to this threshold moment. You stood faithfully through the famine, and now heaven declares abundance. The rain is coming not in drops, but in rivers. Not in measure, but in overflow. But hear me clearly, this rain is not random. It falls in alignment, not in accident. Heaven does not waste water where there are no seeds. The reason this rain is being released now is because your field, your heart, your faith, your obedience has been prepared. Heaven only rains where it sees growth waiting to emerge. You have tilled your ground with tears and watered it with worship. Now, God sends the storm of abundance to awaken your harvest. You will notice the shift not only in your circumstances, but within yourself. The weariness that lingered will begin to fade. The dreams that once felt distant will start to stir again. The inner voice that once said, "Maybe it's too late," will fall silent beneath the roar of restoration. You will feel like someone standing in the first minutes of dawn, seeing light after a long night. This is the kind of rain that transforms landscapes. It doesn't just bless your life, it changes the soil around you. The places once barren will begin to blossom. Old opportunities will sprout new life. Relationships will heal. Creativity will awaken, and clarity will return. What was once cracked ground will now become fertile again. It was spoken through the prophet Malachi, chapter 3, verse 10. I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great that you will not have room enough to receive it. Think about that blessing so vast you will have to make space for them. That is the level of overflow heaven is sending your way. Not one blessing, not a small trickle, but a downpour of provision. The kind that soaks every area of your life, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial. And yet, this rain carries responsibility. You must decide what kind of soil you will be. Rain reveals what is planted. If you've sown faith, the rain will bring favor. If you've sown bitterness, the rain will multiply unrest. The same storm that nourishes wheat can also awaken weeds. That's why this moment requires reflection. Heaven is generous, but it is also just. The rain multiplies what's already within you, so before you stretch out your hands to receive, take a breath and whisper to yourself, I am ready for the rain. Let that readiness be real, not forced, not desperate, but surrendered. Because readiness is not about eagerness, it's about alignment. When your heart aligns with heaven's rhythm, the rain falls with precision. Chosen one, this downpour will reach places of your life you thought were too dry to recover. You will see restoration where you once gave up hope. You will witness miracles sprouting from forgotten prayers. You will find yourself walking in answered petitions you barely remember asking for. That is how complete heaven's restoration is. It even remembers what you forgot to keep praying about. The sound you hear in your spirit, the stirring, the subtle hum of expectation is heaven's thunder preparing to release your rain. Stand still in faith, lift your face like soil ready to receive. The downpour is near. Now, as a prophetic act, I want you to declare your faith out loud. In the comments below, type 555. This number represents grace upon grace, a triple measure of divine favor cascading over your life. When you type it, you are not just entering a number, you are opening your spiritual umbrella in expectation. You are saying to heaven, I am ready to receive what you have prepared for me. Let this be your declaration. You are no longer standing under clouds of waiting, but under clouds of fulfillment. The rainfall is not coming someday. It has already begun. Feel it in your spirit. Hear it in your heart. The drought is breaking, the blessing is pouring, and heaven is smiling upon your obedience. Chosen one, step into the rain. Let it wash away the residue of old battles and refresh your soul. The sky above you has shifted, and what falls now is favor. The season of scarcity is over. The floodgates of grace are open, and this time, you will not run out. Chosen one, every story written by heaven has a turning point, a moment when everything that once stood against you begins to work for you. The great reversal has begun. You may not see all the pieces yet, but they are shifting even now. What was meant to destroy you is becoming the foundation of your victory. What once looked like loss is being rewritten as restoration. For too long, you walked under the weight of injustice, false accusations, unfair endings, doors that closed for no reason. You felt the sting of betrayal from those you trusted most, the disappointment of promises broken, and the frustration of effort unrewarded. But hear this clearly, heaven has not ignored the scales. Every injustice has been documented in divine memory, and the hand of God is now tipping those scales in your favor. The story of your life is about to reveal divine irony. The very situations that seem to bury you are becoming the soil from which your breakthrough grows. The same mouths that once spoke against you will one day speak of your grace. Those who turned away will soon witness the undeniable evidence of your favor. This is not human revenge, it is holy reversal. Heaven is making sure that what was twisted against you is straightened by truth. There is something sacred about how God reverses things. He does not simply erase the pain, He transforms it. He doesn't just replace what you lost, He multiplies it. The God of redemption wastes nothing, not even your tears. Every trial, every heartbreak, every disappointment has become a brick in the architecture of your comeback. The storm that once drenched you is now watering your next season of growth. You may have felt like Joseph in the pit, wondering how dreams turn into darkness so quickly. But like Joseph, you will soon understand that the pit was only a passageway to the palace. The betrayal was a bridge, not a barrier. The prison of delay was the place where character caught up to calling. And when the moment of reversal comes, and it is coming, you will know that not a single day of pain was wasted. We are reminded through the ancient story in the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. That is your anthem, chosen one. The enemy planned harm, but heaven planned healing. Every arrow that was meant to pierce you will become a tool in your hand. Every closed door will open again, this time with divine endorsement. What once humiliated you will now honor you. That is the nature of God's justice. It doesn't just restore, it glorifies. But divine reversal is not simply about circumstances changing. It's about perception transforming. You will begin to see purpose where there was pain. You will look back at the ruins and realize they were foundations. You will understand that the detours were actually directions, leading you to places you would never have gone if the path had been easy. The moment of reversal also carries revelation. You will see who truly walked with you through the valley and who only stayed for the mountaintop. Heaven exposes not to shame, but to separate. God removes what cannot go with you into the next chapter. The pruning was painful, but necessary because new fruit cannot grow from old branches. Now, watch carefully. The same environment that once resisted you will soon respond to you. The same voices that questioned your calling will begin to quote your wisdom. The same places where you were rejected will invite you back, this time with recognition. And when that happens, humility must guard your heart. Reversal is not for gloating, it is for glorifying God. When light returns to the places that once held your darkness, you will finally understand why you had to endure. You are being shaped for empathy, trained for leadership, prepared for influence that could only come through brokenness. Your scars are not stains, they are signatures of survival. The great reversal is not coming, it has already begun. You can sense it in the way peace has replaced panic, in the way hope has started to rise without effort. Heaven is rewriting your story in real time, turning ashes into beauty, mourning into dancing, and pain into purpose. Chosen one, do not rush this process. Let it unfold with grace. Every scene is intentional, every turn meaningful. Soon you will stand in the very place that once held your tears, and you will see how heaven's justice works not loud, not cruel, but perfect. The balance is shifting, the scales are righting, and the great reversal is complete. Chosen one, you have endured what few could survive. There were seasons where the weight of life pressed down so fiercely that even breathing felt like an act of faith. You stood in the ruins of what once was and still whispered, "God, I trust you." That whisper did not vanish, it became thunder in heaven. It echoed in the chambers of eternity, testifying of your endurance. The crowns of heaven are not made of gold for beauty's sake. They are formed from perseverance, molded through fire, cooled by tears, and polished by obedience. You have been walking through that process without realizing it. Every time you refused to give up, every time you chose grace over bitterness, heaven was shaping your crown. It is almost ready now. You were never running a short race. You were climbing a holy mountain. Every trial was another step upward. Every heartbreak another layer of spiritual muscle. The view from the top is not easily given, it is earned through the climb. But you, chosen one, have not only climbed, you have carried others along the way. That is why your reward will not only be glory but legacy. There were nights when you looked at your reflection and barely recognized yourself, asking, "How much more can I take?" And yet, even in the breaking, your spirit refused to bend toward darkness. That strength did not come from within, it came from above. Heaven saw you when you felt unseen, and angels stood beside you when you thought you were alone. Every endurance has purpose. Endurance builds trust. Endurance teaches you to rely not on visible strength but on invisible grace. The endurance of your soul has become a testimony written into the archives of heaven. You may not see it yet, but your name has been added to the roll call of overcomers, those who refuse to bow to despair, those who finish their assignment even when walking through fire. It was written in the letter of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Pause and let that promise settle into your heart. The crown of life, not a metaphor, but a reality. Heaven does not exaggerate. There truly awaits a reward for those who remain steadfast. The world crowns success, but heaven crowns endurance. The world celebrates speed, but heaven honors perseverance. You have not been running in vain. You have been running toward glory. Every trial that seemed endless was marking you for distinction. You will soon realize that endurance is not just surviving pain, it is mastering peace. You learned to stay calm when chaos swirled, to forgive when hatred screamed, to love when indifference surrounded you. That kind of endurance cannot be taught. It must be forged. And you, chosen one, have been through the forge. The people around you may never fully understand what it cost you to stay faithful. They see the light but not the oil. They see the strength but not the scars. They see the smile but not the sleepless nights. But heaven saw it all. Heaven counted every step, every sigh, every quiet yes when no would have been easier. That is why the reward prepared for you is personal, precise, and permanent. Do not despise your scars. They are proof that the fire did not consume you. They are the fingerprints of God's faithfulness written upon your body and soul. You will wear them not as reminders of pain, but as symbols of promise fulfilled. The crown you are being given is not only for endurance in the past, but for leadership in the future. Heaven rewards not just the survivor, but the servant, the one who, after enduring, still reaches back to lift others. You will become a torchbearer for those walking paths similar to yours, guiding them toward light because you know the language of darkness. Your crown is being fitted, chosen one. It gleams with every act of perseverance you ever offered. It will not slip. It will not tarnish. It will not fade. You will wear it with humility, knowing it was never your strength that earned it, but your surrender. You have crossed the threshold of mere endurance and entered the realm of eternal recognition. The trials were the test, but the triumph is the testimony. The weight you once carried is now becoming the glory you will carry forever. Chosen one, hold your head high. You are crowned not because you never fell, but because you never stayed down. Heaven's applause may be silent to human ears, but it is resounding even now across eternity. The faithful have seen your light rise again and again, and they whisper your name among the crowned ones. Chosen one, heaven is calling its remnant to rise. The sound you hear in your spirit, the subtle vibration of urgency, the holy unrest that won't let you sleep, that is not anxiety. It is awakening. You are part of a divine remnant, a generation that refuses to bow to darkness. While the world grows colder, heaven is igniting torches in the hearts of the chosen. And you, yes you, are one of those flames. The remnant are not the loudest, they are the most faithful. They are the ones who kept their fire burning when everyone else drifted into comfort. They pray when no one watches, believe when no one claps, and love when no one deserves it. The remnant understand that revival does not begin in crowds, it begins in hearts. One spark at a time. For years, heaven has been searching for those who will stand even when misunderstood. Those who carry light not as decoration but as duty. You have been tested for this, refined for this, and positioned for this. Your pain was not random, it was your ordination. Every storm you've survived was training your spirit for impact. Now, heaven releases the call, rise. Remnant, rise. The Spirit whispers like a wind through dry bones, awaken the sleeping. Restore the broken, remind the weary. You are not just a survivor. You are a signal, a living reminder that faith still works and love still wins. The world needs your voice, your story, your courage. This is not the hour for silence. It is the hour for shining. But remember, chosen one, your light grows brighter when joined with others. A single flame can warm a corner, but 1,000 together can burn away the night. That is why heaven calls not just you, but all who feel this stirring to unite. We are not isolated candles, we are a constellation forming across the earth. When we connect, darkness has no direction left to run. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14, it is written, "For many are called, but few are chosen." These words are not meant to exclude, they are meant to awaken. The call goes out to all, but only those who answer become the remnant. And answering is not about perfection, it's about presence. It's saying, "Here I am. Lord, use me, even if my voice shakes." If these words stir something deep within you, it's because your spirit recognizes its tribe. You are not hearing this by accident. The same fire that burns here is meant to be shared, carried, multiplied. That's why your engagement matters not for vanity, but for victory. When you like, share, subscribe, or even donate, you're not supporting a message, you're extending a movement. Think of it like this: every interaction becomes a ripple. A like is a spark, a share is a torch passed to another, a comment is a seed planted in unseen soil, and a donation is water that keeps the fire alive. You are helping the message travel where your feet may never go. Someone across the world may find healing through your simple act of engagement. That's how heaven's network operates, not through algorithm, but through obedience. When you support this space, you are joining hands with countless others who have decided to stand as beacons in a darkened age. You are becoming part of a divine ecosystem where faith fuels faith, hope feeds hope, and love sustains everything. You are saying, "I will not let the light go out." If you feel that tug in your spirit, don't ignore it. Let your action match your anointing. Like this message as a sign of unity, share it as a spark for someone else's revival. Subscribe to stay connected to the flow of these prophetic streams. And if you feel led to donate, do it as worship, not duty, as an act of gratitude to the God who keeps lighting your path through every storm. And afterward, come back here, leave a comment, tell your story, or simply write what this word awakened in you. Every testimony becomes another stone in the altar of remembrance we are building together. Because this is not just a message, it's a movement of souls remembering who they are. Chosen one. The trumpet has sounded. The remnant is rising. The world may shake, but heaven's army stands unshaken. Your light matters, Onan. Your voice matters. Your part in this divine story matters. Let's keep this flame alive together until every shadow bows to the dawn. Chosen one, you are standing before a door that no one can shut. It has been waiting for you longer than you realize. This doorway is not made of wood or stone. It is built from divine timing and obedience. Every test you have passed, every prayer you have prayed, every tear you have sown has brought you here. You are at the threshold of fulfillment. There is something sacred about divine doors. They do not open through strength. They open through surrender. You cannot force them. You can only align with them. Many have tried to break their way in through ambition, but heaven's doors respond only to obedience. And you, chosen one, have learned the rhythm of obedience through every season of delay. That is why this door recognizes you. It opens because your spirit matches the sound of heaven's key. You may not have noticed, but the signs of transition have already begun. Conversations that once drained you have faded. Paths that once felt familiar now seem narrow. The places where you used to fit no longer feel comfortable. That is how heaven signals movement. It begins by stirring restlessness in what is finished so that you can recognize what is new. You are being invited into a larger space, one made not for striving but for thriving. This door does not lead to more of the same. It leads to transformation. When you cross through it, you will not merely receive what you have been asking for, you will become what heaven has been shaping you into. You are not stepping into a new chapter. You are stepping into a new identity. The version of you that endured the fire cannot remain outside. The refined version of you must enter. Do not fear this transition. The unknown is not your enemy, it is your unveiling. What looks uncertain from the outside is perfectly arranged from the inside. God has gone ahead of you, preparing provision for every step. When you walk through this door, you will find not emptiness but readiness. What you need will meet you there. The resources, the relationships, the opportunities, they are already waiting. We are reminded through the words recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. That verse was written for moments exactly like this. It is heaven's reassurance that no opposition can reverse what has been divinely ordained. The open door before you is sealed with the authority of the Almighty. It is not dependent on human permission. It is secured by divine decree. The threshold of a new season often feels like contradiction. On one side, you still see remnants of the wilderness. On the other, you glimpse the promise. Between them stands the moment of decision, the courage to step forward even when fear whispers not yet. But courage does not mean absence of fear, it means movement despite it. You are not walking blind, you are walking guided. As you move, remember that open doors require open hearts. Carry no resentment from the past, no bitterness from betrayal, no fear from former failure. Old emotions cannot pass through new entrances. Forgive freely, bless abundantly, release completely. The lighter your heart, the easier your passage. This new space will not tolerate the old pace. The striving that once drove you must now give way to stillness. You will no longer chase, you will attract. You will no longer fight for visibility. Your purpose will make you seen. The door leads not to exhaustion, but to expansion. The blessings that once trickled will now flow in rhythm with your rest. The sound you hear, the subtle hum in your spirit, is the resonance of alignment. Everything is beginning to move according to divine symmetry. The door is not opening suddenly. It is opening steadily, perfectly, unhurriedly. Step through in peace. And when you do, you will feel something you haven't felt in a long time: completion. The struggle that once defined you will no longer identify you. The battle that shaped you will now serve you. The pain that once taught you will now promote you. You will carry wisdom into this next season like a crown, quiet, radiant, undeniable, chosen one. The door before you is wide and waiting. Do not pause at the threshold out of nostalgia for what was. What is behind you has served its purpose. What is ahead of you will reveal God's promise in full color. Take one step. That's all heaven requires. The rest has already been written. As you cross over, the sound of closing doors behind you will not be loss. It will be confirmation that you have finally entered what was always yours. This is your moment of divine passage. Walk through and never look back. Chosen one. This Tuesday is not another day on the calendar. It is the threshold where destiny meets manifestation. Heaven has been writing toward this moment since the day you were conceived. The turning of the hours, the rhythm of the seasons. Every intersection of trial and triumph, all of it has led here. The atmosphere itself seems to hold its breath, waiting for you to step fully into what has already been decreed. Today is not just about receiving blessings. It is about becoming one. You are no longer the one waiting for miracles. You are the miracle that others will witness. Heaven has not merely unlocked doors around you. It has awakened doors within you. What you carry in your spirit is about to translate into reality. The invisible is becoming visible. The prophetic is becoming tangible. This Tuesday was marked long ago as your day of transformation. It is the moment when faith turns into fruition, when promises once whispered begin to speak loudly through your life. You are the living testimony of what it means when heaven says, "Now." The waiting season has expired. The instructions have been fulfilled. The release is active. You will feel it not as chaos but as calm, a divine stillness that confirms movement in unseen realms. The same peace that Jesus carried while the storm raged around him will now anchor you. The same authority that spoke to winds and waves now rests in your voice. You will notice the change in how you think, how you speak, how you walk. Confidence will replace confusion. Clarity will replace hesitation. Everything around you will begin to align with your obedience. The places where you once felt invisible will now call for your presence. The talents that once seemed dormant will suddenly find expression. What you thought was failure was only foundation. What you thought was waiting was only preparation. Nothing has been wasted. Every moment has been repurposed for this unveiling. We find the divine assurance written in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That verse was not written as poetry, it was written as prophecy. Your night has served its purpose. The weeping watered the soil. The silence strengthened the seed. The morning light now rises, and with it comes the joy that was promised to you. This Tuesday is that dawn, when the sun rises after a long storm. The earth smells different, fresh, clean, alive. That is how your spirit feels right now. The residue of the old season is being washed away. You can breathe again. You can believe again. The heaviness that sat on your chest for months is lifting because the promise is no longer waiting in heaven's storehouse. It's being delivered into your hands. There will be signs. They may not come as thunder or lightning, but as simple confirmations, a conversation that opens new direction, a message that arrives at the perfect time, a moment of peace where you used to feel panic. These are not coincidences, they are coordinates. Heaven speaks through alignment. Watch closely. Your steps are being ordered in real time. You are no longer surviving, you are ascending. The caterpillar does not crawl after discovering its wings, and neither will you return to limitation after this. The season of hiding has ended. The cocoon has served its purpose. It is time to unfold your wings, stretch them wide, and take flight into the destiny that has been calling your name. Transformation is never comfortable, but it is always worth it. You may look around and see nothing different yet, but trust the unseen. The shift that happens in the spirit always precedes the manifestation in the natural. It is like the sunrise, darkness doesn't vanish instantly. It fades gently as light takes command. That's what's happening within you now. This Tuesday is your sunrise. Every shadow that once held you captive is losing its grip. The same God who called light out of darkness has now called victory out of your struggle. You are no longer walking toward breakthrough, you are walking in it. Chosen one, stand tall. Let gratitude fill the space where worry once lived. Let peace take the throne where fear once ruled. You have crossed the line between promise and possession, between believing and becoming. Heaven's decree has manifested in you. The Tuesday of transformation has arrived, and you, radiant and renewed, are its living proof. Chosen one, you've reached the end of this journey. But heaven's message doesn't end here, it continues in you. What has awakened in your spirit through these words is meant to live, breathe, and move through your everyday life. You are not leaving inspired, you are leaving ignited. The same presence that spoke through these pages now speaks within your own heart. If this message has stirred something deep in you, if it has reminded you that you are seen, chosen, and destined, let that acknowledgement rise into action. Take a moment to like, share, and comment below what part spoke most to your soul. Your words might be the confirmation someone else has been praying for. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, stay connected to this unfolding stream of revelation, where heaven's whisper continues week after week. Every act of engagement is not just support, it's participation in spreading light, hope, and divine truth to those still walking in silence. So let's keep the fire alive together. Share what you've received. Speak life where others see none. And remember, this message began in heaven, flowed through words, and now lives in you. Carry it forward. Chosen one, your light is needed.